This is a podcast of the Nuffield Department of Medicine. Today we're talking to Professor Ian Tomlinson about his research in colorectal cancers. Hi, Ian.
Hello.
What is the contribution of genetics to colorectal cancer?
Cancers grow in two ways owing to genetics. The first of those is that particular genes may put certain people at higher risk of colon cancer, as indeed other cancer types. And also cancers principally develop because of genetic changes they acquire as they come from a normal piece of tissue all the way through to benign lesions or polyps in our case, through to a fully blown aggressive cancer. And those particular genetic changes are what drive cancer growth.
How does your research help reduce the burden of colorectal cancers?
We focus quite a lot of our research on identifying genes that increase colon cancer risk. And if we can do that, as we have done in the past, then the people who are at increased risk can have special measures to prevent colon cancer, such as colonoscopy and examination using a telescope of the large bowel. And by doing that, we can remove tumours either before they become malignant or at the early stages of malignancy, therefore saving people's lives.
How is this information used in the clinic?
We see people in the cancer genetics clinic either who have referred themselves because they're concerned about their own history of cancer or their family history, or other doctors, the GP, surgeons maybe, can refer them. And we evaluate the family history. We can do genetic testing on selected people to see if they have a high-risk cancer gene, and then we recommend measures to prevent cancer as far as we possibly can in those who are at increased risk.
What are some of the most important lines of research to develop in the last 5 to 10 years?
The ability to identify cancer risk genes has increased because technologies have allowed us to study large numbers of people, and we've identified not only additional high-risk genes, but also genes that are present in the general population, which everybody will have, that either reduce or increase your bowel cancer risk. And increasingly also now we can look at the cancers themselves because they have genetic changes that cause them to grow, and we can use those to classify cancers and also to suggest treatments in some cases that may improve the management of those people.
Why does your research matter, and why should we put money into it?
Ultimately, cancer is best dealt with by prevention, and we know that we have identified some of the genes that predispose to bowel cancer, but if we can get a picture that is closer to a complete one, we can better target the screening based on that genetics and other factors such as lifestyle. That's very important. Our research also deals with getting a better understanding of how cancers grow and why, and I strongly believe that our treatments for cancer and management of cancer patients, it must be informed by that basic understanding of how cancers develop. So there are those two factors.
How does your research fit into translational medicine within the department?
By its very nature, because we're working on identifying cancer genes, there is almost always a translational component. We've already identified 5 or 6 cancer genes that are now tested worldwide and help those patients who have inherited those genes to prevent cancer.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you.